McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
Are you looking to sell or buy your home or looking for an investment property? Look no further. BlackWealthRenaissance.com offers a free realtor directory with realtors located across the country to help you meet your goals. Just go to BlackWealthRenaissance.com and select Realtor Directory under Resources. That's BlackWealthRenaissance.com and select Realtor Directory under Resources.
Do you have bad credit and minimum capital and want to get started in real estate? Hi, we're the Mobile Home Elite Investors.
Our e-course solves all of those problems by giving you all the strategies and secrets to become a successful mobile home investor. Tune in at www.mobilehomeeliteinvestors.com.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Our goal of this podcast is to normalize black wealth and share helpful resources and tips we believe will be useful in attaining and maintaining generational wealth. Please feel free to rate and comment on our podcast. We would love to hear all feedback you have. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 26 of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy, David BWR, checking in.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. It's your boy, Jalen, checking in with BWR.
What's going on, you guys? Kelly checking in, man.
How y'all fellas doing, man?
I'm doing great. A little tired, but doing great, you know. Out here trying to get it.
I'm exhausted. Exhausted.
What you been doing like that, Kelly? Let them know what just happened.
I have been doing my 9 to 5, but it's really been a 9 to 9. It's been 12 hours. I'm tired.
Grind don't stop.
Can't stop. Still here.
Came off work, did the podcast anyway.
Well, yeah, man. So
we
got another great episode coming to you guys. We're gonna be talking about some crypto and some ways that you can help your business with taxes. We got our boy Joseph Lane coming to the podcast. He's a crypto trader, crypto investor, and he's a tax accountant. So can't wait to have this episode. The brother, we reached out to him via the DMs, had a good little conversation off camera, so we can't wait to get started. How you doing, Joseph?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for bringing me on board. Very excited for this podcast here.
Hey, we thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate you for coming on and spending some time with us.
I'm here to drop these gems on the community, man. We need to talk.
Yeah, man, definitely. That's what I love to do, man. Knowledge is power.
Thanks. So, bro, just to start off, could you kind of tell the following, like, who you are and where you came from and how you got into crypto and tax investing?
Just like basically how you got to where you are right now.
All right, so pretty much I'm actually 28. Jackson just got married 2 months ago.
Congrats, bro.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And another thing is, I want to shout this out as well. I can't stress this enough. Your biggest asset you're gonna have is your wife. Okay, that's one of the biggest assets you're gonna have. Okay, that goes way back to the Bible, back in Genesis. Help me. Biggest asset you're gonna have is your wife. All right, so a lot of people, in our culture think, it's cool to dog women out and so forth, but it's not cool. Treat women right, man, and they're gonna multiply everything that you have. So anyway, I just got married. Actually from Miami, Florida. And I moved up to Thomasville, Georgia. But to backtrack some, let me see. I started doing tax accounting. Actually, I started doing taxes in general. Or actually, if you want to take it a step back, I started off as an entrepreneur when I first started doing network marketing. I started off in Amway. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Amway. Also stands for the American Way. Also like the abbreviation. You have products like Nutrilite, stuff like that. Kind of like similar to Mary Kay. And so the fast forward, so I started off with that. And then afterwards, I went into another company called VIMA, Vitamin Essentials, Minerals, Mangosteen, Aloe Vera. That's what VIMA stood for. And I met a guy there that had a tax office. And he said, hey, I need some help. Do you want to make some extra money? I'm like, doing what? He said, yeah, doing taxes. I said, bro, I don't have a degree for that. How can I do taxes? I don't have a degree. Like at that time, I didn't even graduate college yet. And I was like, you want me to do taxes? He's like, no, it's easy. Just come to my office and I teach you how to do everything. I mentor you. I said, okay, cool. I came to the office and I thought it was too good to be true. So actually I walked out on him. I said, nah, this is stupid. I'll never be able to do this. I walked out. I came back right after Thanksgiving of that year. And I said, okay, look, I need some money, man. How can I make this work? Okay, so he said, okay, look, this time you committed. I said, yeah, I'm committed. So I learned how to do taxes, okay? And then from there, I was able to build my first year. I made about $35,000 in 4 months doing taxes under work in his firm at that time. Second year, I almost tripled it. I did about $70,000, $80,000 net profit for me. And that was second year. And then from there, I said, okay, well, I think I have enough knowledge to branch off and do this on my own. And that's where I founded my company called Tax Emperor. And from there, I just been doing building it and so forth. Now, another thing that for Tax Emperor that I do is I give opportunities back to the community. So with that being said is there's nothing to buy. Okay, all you're doing, well, my company is doing, we're giving all the tools, the software, the knowledge, the trainings on a daily basis, okay, prior to tax season, okay? And then what we do is we help you scale your business to at least $10,000 profit your first 3 to 4 months. That's for anyone that wants to make extra money apart from what they're doing from their 9 to 5, okay? So, and the cool thing about it is that it's a lucrative business because everyone has to file taxes. It's not like you're selling something, like you knock on doors, hey, I have a product here. It's not like you're selling things. I have a product here. I mean, I was a salesperson and I hated it. And so this is again lucrative. People come to you, okay? Like how many people say, "Hey, do you know a good tax guy?" I mean, every tax season, like I hear everyone say that. Okay, well, you know a good tax guy. Hey, me, I do taxes. Oh, you do? Yeah, come to me. So everyone that's new, like I had a guy, perfect example. His first year was two years ago. And he made net profit his first 3-4 months, like $12,000-$13,000 net profit. Second year net profit, he's already at $44,000. So yeah, so it's crazy, So like I said, so again, this is for the community. Nothing to buy. All you're doing is signing up with my team, and we're giving you all the tools, software, training, everything that you need, so you can be successful. Okay, so it's literally a free business. You cannot beat that offer. All we're asking for is 40% of whatever you generate, because we're going to help you generate the 40% through leads and everything else. So it's a win-win.
Hey, when tax season come around, y'all hit our boy up. I'm trying to make y'all some bands.
Yeah, man. So, and our trainings, we usually start in September. I like to start earlier the better. I'll have to post, and I get with you guys as well on actual schedule If you have people that are serious about starting a business, a tax business, and so forth, and then growing from there. Like I said, my first year, I didn't make a whole lot. I made about almost $30,000, and from there I shot up. And I saw the vision and the opportunity. And that's what I've been doing now. I've been scaling my business now, which is obviously I've grown past to a six-figure income, and so I've been expanding to thousands of clients all over the U.S. And the funny thing is that although I have an office, I mostly work from home.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
I mostly work from home. And all of our independent tax preparers that we have throughout, the U.S. I have people in California, Florida, again, so I'm in Georgia. I have people in California, Florida, Georgia, all over, Orlando. And they work from home, okay? They literally have their 9 to 5, and they work about 2 hours per day during tax season, if that, and they're making $10,000, $15,000 extra on top of what they're already making a 9 to 5. So it's a wonderful opportunity.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's amazing. I do want to spotlight some parts that you were talking about in your tax part. I want you to just explain the importance of taxes whenever you're a business owner, from a business owner standpoint, because I know you talked to us off camera about a certain incident where one of your current clients now, they're losing a lot of money. So I know a lot of time within our community, we don't look at taxes as being as important as trying to push the product and trying to make sure we market and brand and just sell. We get to taxes when we get to taxes.
Of course. Okay. So first thing first, I'm going to say like this. There is no such thing as a tax refund. Okay. So there is, but there's not. And it's actually a trap. So it's an illusion. Okay. So I'm going to explain it to you right now. So if you say you have a kid, right, and you work 9 to 5, regular job, $15 an hour, whatever you're making in an hour, and you will get a refund because of the child care credit, obviously. But say, other than that, there is no refund. A tax refund just means that you overpaid what you were supposed to pay. Okay. So if you made $30,000 and you were supposed to pay $3,000, you're even. You're not getting anything. You're not gonna owe anything. But if you had paid accidentally, 12%, and you end up paying $3,500, you're gonna get an additional $500 back in a refund. There's no such thing as a tax refund. So first, I want to just kind of clear that out for people in general, even for business owners, for both employees and business owners. We do have some business owners that do have kids, and they do get tax refunds. But anyway, so the importance of taxes, right, for business owners and people like myself, so forth, it's definitely good to keep up with all your books. That's first thing, okay? Keep up with all your books, okay? Because if IRS ever came to audit you and you have no proof of anything, then you lost the case. That's first thing, okay? Another thing when it comes to business taxes is, I recommend basically everybody to get an LLC. Okay, limited liability company. Even if you're doing podcasts or selling water bottles at the beach or anything, get an LLC. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need an LLC. Why an LLC? It costs a couple $100." Okay, well, let me explain to you why it's important to be incorporated for yourself, okay, or just to have a business structure. So when you file taxes, if you have it in your name, right, the IRS can easily audit you. Right, because there is no difference. There's no difference between you spending $100 on a laptop for personal use, or you spend $100 in a laptop for business use. You can't. There's no way for you to separate the two. Okay. Now, I teach my clients strategies such as just for taxes, right? So with an LLC, I teach clients things like this, like they're able to get a business credit card. Okay, again, I teach not to get into debt, Okay, and don't be afraid of credit cards. Credit cards are another big asset, credit, right? And this also helps build business credit. So, for example, I have clients that go to Best Buy and they buy laptop, GoPros, cameras. They spend $2,000. Okay, if they did it on their own without a business structure, they cannot deduct $2,000 on the taxes. That's the difference. Even if it was for personal use, even if they bought a laptop just to watch Netflix, that's the biggest difference. I tell people all the time. So every dollar that you spend technically can almost be used as a tax deduction when you have a business structure for your business. Like even myself, when I went this weekend, I bought a new car, okay, and I went on a trip to Augusta, Georgia, and I put everything on my business credit card. Now IRS has no idea unless they see this podcast. Unless they view this podcast, but seriously, they will have no idea, okay, because they cannot differentiate whether it was for personal use or for business use. But see, when I went to the hotel, I put I'm here for business. See that's a big difference. See, so that stuff accumulates. Like when my wife and I go out to dinner, like we went to Longhorn, went to all the other places, I use that every week on a business credit card and I pay it back, okay. And at the end of the year, it's like, wow, I spent $5,000 on gas. I spent $4,000 eating out to like the movies and Longhorn. And again, this is personal, everyday things that I'm doing, right? And again, if you don't have a business structure, it's going to be very hard for you to justify, right, what I'm just saying. So that's why I push people to get business structures.
Now, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if you say I form an LLC, but I don't have necessarily a successful business, but I can fund it through my personal income through my job. Am I able to do that?
Correct. So IRS, okay, this is IRS rules. IRS says your business can go negative 3 years. 3 years. Okay, so example, this year you can lose $5,000. Next, you can lose $7,000. To 2021, you can lose $10,000. After that, IRS says you're only allowed to lose $3,000 because now your business is a hobby. Because after a while, remember, you're in business to make money, not to lose money. So they figure, okay, they give you about 3 years to make your money back off of you. You invest $20,000, it takes you about 3 years to get the money back and be in profit. That's what they figure. But if you're not in profit, at some point they figure, okay, now you're just playing. So that's the difference.
That's very interesting to know. I never knew that.
Because it makes sense. You're really not operating as a business.
At a certain point, it's like you're nonprofit in this plane. So this is one of the secrets. This applied with real estate is one of the main secrets that multimillionaires do not pay taxes. This is one of the secrets. And with that being said, is every 3 to 5 years they open up new LLCs. That's how they do it. They'll buy a house, like example. Let me see example. Say for the year after, me as an accountant, I consult clients. It's okay. It's November, 20, or say right now we're in August, right? Say, hey, look, it looks as if right now off your bookkeeping, your net profit is $1 million. You're going to end up paying 35% in taxes, so $350,000 in taxes. Who wants to pay that? Nobody, right? Of course not. And then you wonder why these rappers evade taxes because it's so high. So a good accountant that has financial education and knowledge, right? What they do is they say, okay, look, here's what you need to do. We need to get you into an investment, right? Like a tax haven. That's what it's considered, like tax havens, and then get your money back after January. So how that would be is if you go on Realtor.com, you have a lot of houses there that are for sale on the market throughout the entire year and the next year and the next year. It's always the same houses. A lot of people don't know that. If you look at the date on the market, it says 300 days, 900 days. It's ridiculous. And what they're doing is, and you have some houses there as well that you'll see on the market today, and it'll be back on the market in January. A lot of people don't catch that on Realtor.com or Zillow. And the thing is, what they do is they'll buy it cash. They'll literally spend today or this today, they'll go out there and they'll go out and say, okay, I want this house, $750,000 cash offer. They buy it, and then in January they'll sell it for $750,000 cash. So you have a $750,000 tax deduction. So right there, you just saved $250,000. And then you sell the house back in January for exactly what you bought it at. And then you're tax free.
So this is the shit Jeff Bezos be doing.
That's how he paid.
All of them. Donald Trump, all of them. That's what they all do.
I got a question. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to go back to the story. So, dude hit you up. He was like, you want to come do taxes or whatever. And I know you said you didn't have education for it or whatever. So how did you learn? How did you educate yourself? What did you have to do to say, okay, I'm ready to do some taxes?
Okay. So honestly, so first off, he had 30 years of experience in doing taxes. That's first off. He had his own office. He was a storefront, great mentor. He became a really good friend. And he was kind of like a father figure to me, honestly. And I said, real good guy. And apart from doing taxes, he taught me how to invest money elsewhere. He also did real estate, and he was making, 7 figures a year off other ventures. And anyways, yeah. So me, honestly, what confidence? Honestly, man, I'm gonna tell you what it was. I was dirt broke. I was dirt broke. I'm being honest with you, 100%. Literally, I probably had about $140 in my pocket at most. I probably couldn't even say more than that. My credit cards were just about maxed out. I was living off my credit cards. And, so I said, you know what? If this can make me $15,000, as he says, I'll be straight. I'll be straight, I can make 15, 20 G's in 4 months, and I can try to keep on building something else. And so I said, you know what? Look, I came to him humble. I said, look, I need money, man, and let's do it. And at that point, man, I said, my thing was a lot of times you had to be broken to start over. And at that time I was broken. And that gave me a fresh start.
Yeah, I love that. That's a powerful story because I know a lot of entrepreneurs have been there. They've been at their rock bottom and just like, I don't know where to go. But you only can go down so far until you start to come back up. And it's definitely a beautiful thing whenever you start to come back up. And you get to fall back on that process, though, because you remember what it's like to be broke, but also you had to learn the skills to make it to where you at. So now you can't never forget those skills. So even if you were to fall off tomorrow and go to be broken again, you know how to get back to where you were.
Correct. And even now, man, my tax business is successful. I have over 1,000 clients, thousands of clients, and I've served. But the thing is that, even in the world of investing, I still make mistakes. Like, this time, like I told you guys prior, I lost tens of thousands of dollars doing other ventures. And even in those situations, man, I sit there and say, okay, you know what, Joseph? It's all good. My failure, I just learned from it. And that's another thing, I learned to fail. Yeah. And not saying that I'm looking to fail, because who wants to fail? Like, I'm not just saying, oh, look, come on, let's fail. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, if I try things, and you know what, I hear everybody out. Like, if someone has an opportunity for me, they say, hey, if you DM me and say, hey, I want you to take a look at this, 100% of the time, I will take a look at it. Because you never know what you can miss by not taking a look at it. And then, who knows, like, you may forget that guy. He sounds stupid. And then, you just disregard it. And then 8 months from now, that guy's balling in with a Ferrari. Like, what happened? Wait. Yeah, I DM'd you like 8 months ago, but you didn't respond. So I found somebody else to help me. Oh, well, dang, let's. So it's too late. Let's say I like to hear everybody out, and even if it makes sense, I'll give it a try. And even if I fail, it is what it is, and I just move on.
Yeah, and that mentality right there is really just a major part of it altogether. But I do want to go back to something because you brought it up, and now I can't let it slip.
Go ahead.
How you lost that money doing the trading, and that investment mentality that you developed. So could we get back into the crypto and just how that all started?
All right, go. Okay, so like I was saying prior, and again, this goes exactly to what I was saying. having a closed mind. This was almost 4 years ago. And well, actually, 3 years ago. And again, that's when I had a closed mind. At that time, I thought, I was making, like 150K a year, 200K a year. I was like, yeah, big money, 25, whatever. Anyway, so a guy DM'd me and actually on Facebook Messenger. He said, hey, buy Bitcoin. It was like probably $500 back then, 550 maybe, something, I don't know. And nah, they're not credible. So I disregarded him. A month later, someone said, hey, buy XRP, which is Ripple. Okay, that's number 3. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, which is ETH, and you have XRP, which is Ripple. And they're known for XRapid and so forth. Anyway, so at that time, I believe it was worth, one share was worth 0.0006 per share. Okay, and I believe, if I had invested like $1,000, I would have made less than 1 year $500,000 in less than 1 year. And I disregarded it.
$500,000?
Yes, $500,000 profit off of $1,000. So yeah, that's crazy, right? It was definitely a 6-figure profit return. I can't do the numbers right now, but and it's funny, man, because even when I disregarded it, I was still checking it. I was like, you know what? Where's XRP at? Oh, it's at a penny now. And then I'll go on Reddit.com, and people on Reddit were saying it'll never reach $1. It's useless. It'll never go to 10 cents. It hit 10 cents. I'm like, all right, 50 cents. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. I caught this too late. But then I was like, at that point, I was like, well, I guess I thought it was probably done, exploding in price. And man, it kept going up and up. I was like, man, I missed my opportunity to make 7 figures at 25. And I was like, well, it is what it is, man. But like I said, you just gotta keep an open mind, man, to everything out there. Whether stocks, bonds, ETFs, everything. Keep an open mind and hear people out, because you never know information you can miss, especially if it's free information. One mentor told me that in 2013. He said, Joseph, let me tell you something. If there's nothing to buy, nothing to sign, take the information. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's for you, go for it full force. Okay. But fast forward and answer your question about the loss. You asked me if I lost money. Yeah. I calculated my loss in 2018, almost $60,000. I need you guys a shot. Like, what?
So, like, what type of mindset is that to, like, keep on pushing, though? Like,
after you lose all that money.
But let me try to make this bank.
Good question. Okay, so what happened was, and the reason why I lost around $60,000, 2018, was because I did not have a mentor. Okay, I did not have a mentor to teach me about the market emotions. You have emotion, you have the market. You can't play both. Okay, like me at that time. So prior to that, I made almost 6 figures, like I was saying earlier. But then I got emotional and I wrecked myself. I destroyed my entire portfolio, and I had to start from scratch. I said, okay, just let me take my mentor's advice and start from scratch. And my portfolio now has grown tremendously, organically. That's without trying to short and squeeze and trying to trade every day. But so what advice can I give is, for anything that you do, and I'm gonna answer your question as well directly, but anything that you do, get you a mentor. If you can find a mentor, you can skip 10, 20, 30 years of experience. Okay. All that hardship that they've been through, they can literally teach you how to avoid all those pains and failures. So like I said, I was stubborn, and I day traded, thinking I knew what I was doing. Oh, the candle is red today, so it must be green tomorrow. I don't know if you know about the markets, like the MetaTrader, and trading you. Red candle means down, and green candle means positive. So if today is red, tomorrow it must be green. I'll put $5,000 in, and then it'll go back down even more, 80% loss. Like, man, and then I will pull out, 80% loss of like $5,000, and then tomorrow it'll be a 200%. And then my emotions will be like, man, that could have been me. I could have made 10 G, So then I'll go back to my bank account, and I will wire transfer $10,000, and then at that moment the pump already happened. It'll come back down 40%. So it was over and over.
You're always chasing the market.
Like I said, I was chasing the market, man, being emotional, and that's what a lot of people fail with stocks, cryptocurrency, and so forth, is that they chase the markets. And actually, I watched a video like a year ago, and a guy explained he's a multi-millionaire off trading because he knows how to play people's emotions. All right. So when people are saying that it's going to go up, most likely it's going to go down. And when people say it's going to go down, it's most likely going to go up. It's always the opposite. All right. As I said, again, I found a mentor that taught me that as well. And so, from there, I just been, trading here and there and making profits off of it. And then, but right now, I kind of stopped though, because now I've been more focused on just having and building a solid portfolio overall to grow all my money, to grow my assets versus taking risks and trading. Anytime you invest, you're obviously taking a risk because things can go either up or down. But if you find the right companies, right projects for cryptocurrency, like example me, I'm really big on MTC, which is a medical token, Docademic, and they providing free basic healthcare for the entire world through an app. And what that is how they're doing it is, so say you say it's you and your girlfriend, you guys at the park or something, and something would have happened. She had a stroke for whatever reason. Okay, at that time, people don't know what to do. They panic. Docademic, you have the app on your phone, and you hit the app, and then within a few seconds, free, physician is on the line, which is called telemeds, and then they assist you. Okay, well, she's having a stroke, or he's having a stroke. I think it's here's what you guys need to do, and in the meantime, I'm gonna call an ambulance on my end and so forth, and keep they help you. So that's I believe, in my opinion, is gonna be really, really big. So I tell people, I learned as well from my mentor, do not chase the market anymore. I don't chase that anymore.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Chase and invest things that you feel is going to be big in the future. And, a lot of it, it's just common sense. It's just common. It just makes sense,
Yeah.
Like Blockbuster, it makes sense. Back then, it would make sense. Netflix, it makes sense 10, 15 years ago. But so again, you have to know the demands of people and how it can help, the world.
So
That's major.
Can we break it down a little bit more, like more along the lines of what is cryptocurrency and like how cryptocurrency goes up and down, how volatile it is, and why is it so volatile? And how do you gain wealth through cryptocurrency?
Okay, good question. So, how do you gain wealth through cryptocurrency? So, obviously, you have trade. You have ways, one, of trading, and two, of building a portfolio. Okay. So, say you invest $10,000 into something like anything, stock market, ETF, anything, and the price goes up, your portfolio grows. So, I'll give you an example. Say something costs 1 penny. I do $1,000. That means I would have 100,000 shares. That particular company, each price per share goes up to 25 cents. Now you have your portfolio is now at $25,000 value. So that's how you can build wealth with cryptocurrency. Now, what is cryptocurrency? So cryptocurrency is digital money. That's what it originally was designed for. But then you have the blockchain, which is technology that is revolutionizing the whole industry. So even Walt Disney, Disney World, and also the companies are using the blockchain technology. And so to iterate back on building wealth, so why is the market so volatile? Honestly, I'm gonna give you guys a straight, raw, uncut answer. There's obviously a lot of market manipulation. That's one. That's first thing. There's massive market manipulation. Anything, stock market, market of gold, anything, cryptocurrency. But the reason, but apart from market manipulation, you also have the fact that it is so new that any dollar amount moves the market up, and any dollar amount that is removed from the market moves the market down drastically. So say someone that has $1 million and wants to invest in something. okay, they call them whales. They go ahead and they drop $1 million into a particular asset in cryptocurrency. That market is going to move drastically.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to go from 1 penny to probably 15 pennies in a week. Because then they have the crowd, again, emotions, people, which is called FOMO, fear of missing out. When something in any market is green and is moving up 25, 30%, everyone else, even myself at the time, I was chasing the green, and so I bought in, and it moves the market as well. So that's also why it's so volatile. But then again, if a few people move the money out of that market, they start selling their shares, the market goes down.
So
it's kind of like supply and demand.
Wins. But that makes a lot of sense.
I hope I didn't confuse you guys.
Oh no, you actually made me think. Like, it made me think back to my days when I was trading forex, and I was one of those people. I was one of those people that would end up chasing it up, falling for the market volatility. I never thought of it. They'd always talk about market makers, and I never knew what they were talking about. And those are the people you're talking about. Like, the market makers, they'll throw a lot of money in, get everybody real hyped, and everybody just throwing their money in like, oh yeah, it's going to be going up. They make their money, pull out, boom.
And then everything goes
to shit. You lost your money.
Exactly. And you know what? When it comes to Bitcoin, stock market, any market, I was told this, again, by mentors who made 8 figures, not 7, 8 figures in this industry of trading. They said, when you hear, and this may sound offensive, but it's true. Just give a heads up to people in general out there. Whenever you hear people with lesser income talk about buying certain assets, you know that market is about to crash. Okay, every market is like a balloon. Okay, everything's a bubble. Like now they have Amazon stores. That's hot buy right now. Like Amazon, people are buying Amazon automation services, hot buy. Like I said, but in every market there's a bubble. Okay, so first people that get into the bubble before it pops are the wealthy people. They heard about Bitcoin. 2008, 2009. They heard about it, and eventually it goes down to the people with lesser income. People with higher income start talking about it, and then middle class people, lesser income people say, oh, hey, wait a minute, hey, I heard this person saying that they were buying X, Y, and Z, and by the time that they get in, the bubble exploded. So that's why you have a lot of people in stock market, cryptocurrency market, that are left damaged financially because they got in at the very top or the peak of the bubble. And usually it's pretty sad. It's the reverse. So the wealthy, again, it's the wealthy getting rich off the poor, unfortunately.
But that's why it's really, really so important for us to stress the importance of us doing due diligence before we invest.
Of course.
A lot of the times, that's why those people end up in those situations. Like, you getting that mentor and him teaching you about market emotions, just that education part of it, that's what made you better at working in the markets. You can't just throw your money at stuff and not expect it to grow and not do the work. Like that video he just put up with T-Pain.
Yeah, he just had dumps that he was throwing his money
into. He just was letting someone else invest his money. Like, he didn't even know what he was doing. The dude didn't know what he was doing, and they lost a lot of money.
A lot of
like 40 million.
Of course, man. And another thing I learned is this: is that if you can invest, and manage your own money, that's always gonna be best. Learn how to learn how to make money, learn how to save money, and learn how to invest it yourself. Okay, that's what I teach all my clients. Okay, my job as a tax accountant is to help you save taxes at the end of the year, and make sure every month, I consult with you. Say, hey, look, listen, here's what you made this month. Apparently, here's what you spent this month. Here's where we're going to be at come this January. Okay. And again, if you don't like what we have to say, then let's figure out a way that we can bring your tax amount due lower. And we strategize. But yeah, it's definitely doing your own due diligence, man. Anything you do, like I said, I teach my clients, make your money, learn to invest it, and learn to make more. Always. Don't give it to people and just have them play with your money. Because honestly, if someone's playing with my money, chances are they don't know how to make their own money. That's how it is. That's how it is.
That's a fact. There's a gym.
That's why they're playing with your money, because they want a percentage. It's like saying, okay, hey, you gave me 100 grand, and I'm gonna flip your money, and I want 25%. Yeah, because you don't have any money to flip. So you're betting. You want to bet my money, so you can get a profit out of it. That's how it works.
And that's crazy, because I hear a lot of people say, OPM, that's how you get into the game, by using other people's money. So a lot of people do kind of argue that. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, man. Like I said, that's why I teach my clients. But again, it's whatever works for you. For me and my clients, I'm gonna stick true to what I've always been taught: invest your own money. And
go organically.
And the good part about it is, if you lose your money by you doing you, you can't blame anybody. You lost your money. I can't blame you or you, and that's that.
Yeah. That's the gospel right there, because even if you go to lose somebody's money, then you got that liability over your head, like, man, I got to pay this person back $100,000. How the hell am I going to do that?
Exactly, man. So, like I said, you got, and like even with my clients, man, they present to me a lot of business opportunities and investments, and I turn down some of them. Some I actually invest with them, if it makes sense. I hear everybody out. So I do a lot of business clients, and so so like I said, I had a guy, he's doing real estate right now, and again, that's going back to what I was saying earlier about tax havens, how you pay taxes, how to save on taxes, and so forth.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy, because, like, think about it. If I was to let somebody invest my $100,000, right, and I lose it, and they lose it, right, they lose my $100,000. Well, I'm out of $100,000, and I didn't learn anything. Like, I learned not to let him lend me anything, all right, but I didn't learn what he did wrong and what I was supposed to do investment wise. Whereas if I invest my own $100,000, and I learned the lessons of investing, I learned, okay, maybe I shouldn't invest in this fund, but I can use it for this fund. You learn your own tactics and ways you shouldn't do things.
Of course, absolutely. And like it's like, I have nothing against college. I'm a college graduate. As you can see, I probably can't see it from here, but that's my degree on the wall. Actually, I went to school to become a therapist. So actually, after tax season, I'm often seeing patients who are suicidal, have mental health disorders, and I consult with them and so forth. And that's why I'm also really big on MTC, as I said, medical token and crypto, because they also have a suicide watch on their app. And that's, again, if someone's suicidal, you contact a physician, they get that person some therapeutic help and help them not become suicide. Anyway, so I went to school for therapy degree as a therapist, and my primary source of income is accounting. But see, so the thing is that I took knowledge from a different source, trial and error. I made it work through a mentor, and here I am where I am today. So I say you're 100% correct when you say, you can give someone 100 grand, but then if you lose it, or if they lose it, all right, then you don't learn anything.
Yeah.
And that's what's most important out of anything, is the knowledge.
Because once you learn that, once you have that, that's something nobody can take from.
100%.
Yeah, you got to take that time and invest in yourself and learn those skills. We can't preach that enough. The more skills you have, the more valuable you are, the more you can create opportunities for you to build and create wealth.
Of course, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I said, and going back to the accounting service, man. Like I said, for people that are willing that are wishing or looking for a second stream of income, I said nothing to buy. Straight up, you start your own business through us. 40% goes to us, 60% goes to your pockets, and so like I said, there's literally no risk at all. literally no risk. Like you can't lose. You're only going to gain knowledge, and going to gain knowledge. And let's just say worst case scenario, you only make $100. Let's just say you had a really, really lousy tax year, only made $100. Again, you made $100 profit. You made $100 profit because you had no overhead, and you're gonna learn so much information about taxes that's gonna blow your mind. So forget about the profits. Also think about the knowledge. You also gotta invest into yourself. Like my wife and I, we go to seminars. I try to do a lot of networking. And so I have clients that spend 6 figures a year on networking events. Networking. A lot of people, especially in our community, I can't stress enough. I see it. We're out here buying belts and Louis Vuitton this, Gucci that, but we're not investing into our minds.
So I got a question with the tax business. So since there's no overhead or whatever, how does it work? Do they just secure clients and they work straight from home?
Correct. Yeah, anywhere. We also have an app. You can have it on your tablet, on your phone, anything, and you can do taxes anywhere. Like literally, there's no excuse not to make $10,000 in 3 to 4 months. There's literally no excuse.
And the way taxes work, do you get a percentage off of what their tax return is, or they just pay for you just straight for the services?
Awesome question. Okay, so the way it works is, like I said, what they're called independent tax preparers. So literally, like you'll be affiliated with Tax Emperor, with the company of my company, and what it is that you can literally name your own. You can start your own LLC if you want to, and you can sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to call myself Johnny Tax," for example. Okay, come to Johnny Tax. So you're going to be able to set your own prices. If you want to charge someone $1,000, that's what you feel you're worth, go ahead. It's 100% up to you. But just know that you're going to keep 60% of the profit of whatever gross, whatever you're going to generate. Whatever you generate, just know you're going to keep 60%. That's how it works. And how does that work? So when you file someone's taxes, you can set the price in the system, right? And you say, okay, look, it's going to be $250, right? Or let's make it a flat number, $200. And when I electronically hit submit to the IRS will, once you get your refund, it'll automatically send over the distribution to me and you. Automatically, it'll automatically divide it. So let's say, example, numbers top of my head, $200 by 40%. That means that you will keep a net profit of $120 immediately.
Damn.
It'll automatically just send it over. Okay, so you're able to set your own prices. If you think $250 is too cheap, and the location that you're at, which I have people say, hey, in California they charge $750, but in Florida they don't charge that. They charge about $150. So I can't, you can't possibly always do it based off what someone else. You got to do what's in your area.
Yeah, off the
and also again what you think your services are worth.
Hmm.
The good thing about it, like I tell people, that as you gain knowledge, you can charge more. Kind of like getting a degree, kind of like the more knowledge you have, they're gonna start you up at a higher rate. So kind of same way you're worth more in knowledge. So a lot of times people are paying for knowledge. Like I have clients that pay me $50,000 up front, for the whole year of services.
Mm.
And before I would have never imagined that, Before I was literally charging $20 when I first started.
But like you said, you had to build that knowledge, get those skills. I'm pretty sure you've helped those clients on the road, as you build that rapport and stuff. So now you're definitely worth that $50,000 to them.
Correct. And like I said, so like example, so like, I target major businesses, people that are making $500,000 plus, okay? For those that need a lot of help. And what I do is, so like I said, that one example I said, a guy he owed like $3 million in taxes. He paid too much, in taxes. And I said, look, your guys charge you $2,500. Let me handle all your stuff, and I'm gonna prove to you legally I can save you like around $3 million. I saved him $2.8 million. The guy paid me literally what I told him I wanted, because it makes more sense. Okay, I can ask you for $50,000 for that service. Because that's what one is going to be is time consuming, one, and that price, $2.8 million saved versus only paying $50,000. I mean, look at what you're getting,
Yeah, that's a no brainer to me.
Exactly. So like I said, I took this as, a part-time thing. It's just literally, I had like $140 in my pocket. I took this and ran with it, and I haven't looked back at all.
And now it's your largest source of income.
Exactly.
I have one more question about the tax business.
Go ahead.
So, when you're in tax season, what does your other work schedule look like? Are you completely not even focused on that? You're just straight
No.
on taxes?
No. Okay, so good question. Okay, so really good question. So we have January to December. That's calendar year, obviously, and taxes January through April 15th. If you're a corporation, S corp, we do March 15th. So everything kind of falls in differently. But however, I do bookkeeping throughout the entire year. I have a system that logs everything automatically in real time. So say you go to like Shell gas station, you swipe your debit card for $50 of the gas. I'm gonna get it when I log into the computer. All right, on a week, on whatever day, I say, okay, today I'm gonna dedicate 9 hours of work or whatever. And sometimes I make my own schedule. I say, okay, today I'm gonna dedicate 20 hours in a week, as an example. When I log on, it'll automatically show me what all your transactions for the week or for the day or for the month. And I'm able right there to do automatic bookkeeping on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I try to do it on a monthly basis, and every month I give them their books, their profit and loss statements. And so every month I consult with my clients. I make sure that we are as transparent as possible with them. Say, look, okay, here's where you're going to be at the end of the year and so forth. That way, come January, I'm not running like a madman with a bunch of receipts in my hand. I hated that. People just hand me a shoebox full of receipts. I used to hate that with a passion. Like, you sit there, you calculate everything. Oh, man, $14.05 at Taco Bell. Oh, you spent – no, we're not doing that. And literally, after Christmas, you and I on a Skype call on the phone, or we're meeting face-to-face, and we're going to discuss where you're going to fall at next month. That's that. And then that gives me a lot more time to help my independent tax preparers to build their business. So apart from that, like I said, I try to do taxes in the morning or at night, and during the day, when I do see patients, I have time to see patients, to visit patients as well.
Okay, well, that's some great insight, because I definitely thought, I'm pretty sure other people probably think, I got to be consuming straight taxes. I'm just about to be crunching numbers all day.
No, man, no. And the funny part, about it is that I'm not very good at math. I'm not. Literally, I'm not. Actually, man, I was always a kid that failed math in high school. And when I went to college, I actually went to Miami-Dade College, and I went to Florida International University. But so when I went to college, man, I was constantly in the math tutoring room. Always, every day I was there, trying to figure out what 2 times 2 to the third power was. I was just out of it. And but like I said, with these softwares now in 2019, it's already done for you. Literally, you just tying in, you putting the numbers in, and it's kind of common sense, honestly. But again, what's not common sense is knowing the rules and regulation and how to bend them legally. That's where a lot of clients, struggle with, because not everyone has the knowledge and expertise of years of knowledge of knowing and bending rules with the IRS and not getting audited. Like I told you as an example with real estate, that's a major tax deduction right there.
Yeah.
I got one more question before we get into our last segment. So, say I'm one of the listeners and I haven't filed taxes in the last maybe 2 years, right?
Okay.
But I'm hearing you, and I'm like, man, maybe I need to start my LLC. I need to get my taxes ready. If I can come back and I can get my stuff ready, I can maybe even get some money back.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Is there a process to get it done? Is it worth it? What is your thoughts on that?
Good question. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely worth it. Whether you're getting a refund or you're not getting a refund, you should always file your taxes, man. Never run from the IRS. The minute you start running from the IRS, or they feel as if you're running from them, you're always going to bring up red flags in the future. Okay, so again, let's say you're getting a tax refund on like $150. Okay, from 2017, 2018. Yes, file it, get your small refund, and keep the IRS happy, because the IRS they always want to know that you're current with your taxes.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people, and I'm gonna tell you the cons of not doing so. I've had people say, "Hey, I want to go buy a car." Those dealerships say, "Okay, well, we need proof. We need proof of income." Oh, through what? My bank statement? No, we want to see your W-2 or your 2017, 2018 tax return. If you don't have that, you ain't gonna buy no car.
Nope.
Okay, so that's one of the importance of doing so. And I have people that are business owners and they haven't filed taxes in 4 years. They came to me and I said, "Well, what are you doing?" And yeah, well, my first year I only made like $4,000. I say, "Dude, well then just file it. Then we have to file this. That way the IRS is not on your back." Because then that's when they start snooping in there. See, if you keep a clean slate with the IRS, you're gonna be clean forever. File your taxes and then pay it. Pay it. Okay.
Hey, shit, because Uncle Sam don't play that shit.
Yeah.
No, you don't play it.
Okay.
You don't play it.
So I'm gonna let David take us to our last segment, man.
So Joseph, my brother, we do this segment on the show. We call it "What's on Your Timeline." So basically, on here, all we asking for you is maybe something that you've seen on your social media, or something that you posted that you thought was impactful and that you want to speak on.
Okay, go. Okay, yeah. So okay, I see this a lot. And I'm gonna talk about this. I feel like the need in my heart to talk about this. Like I said, I said it earlier when I first started the podcast. A lot of people in our culture, especially a lot of men, especially dominantly black men, even in rap music, they teach us, chase money, F women, chase money, get bags, don't focus on women. Your biggest asset, man, and I heard this, I think it was Kanye. I forgot exactly which celebrity said it. This is like 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, maybe years ago. And your biggest asset is your wife. For a man, is your wife. Your spouse is always gonna be your biggest asset. Because see, people are always gonna try to play you when it comes to like making money. Okay, particularly multi-millionaires, they screw over a lot of people. Okay, and this may offend people, but honestly, really, I don't care. I'm gonna tell you the truth, straight up what it is.
Talk your
yeah,
truth.
okay, so now I'm gonna say the truth because people need to hear this. It's serious. People need to hear this for real, especially in our culture, in our community. A lot of millionaires, piss off other people and they screw you over. So it's like, hey, I have a business deal, so I'm gonna sell you a car at this price. No. Here's there's a counter offer because you're also a millionaire, so you have knowledge too, right? So you're always gonna counter each other. Who can leverage and make the most money off of each other. But if I can't make money off of you, can't make money off of me, we're gonna collaborate on how we can take David and make him a dummy and make money off of David, the two of us. So that's how it works. A lot of times that's how it works. But see, your spouse, your wife, or your husband, okay, you guys work together, never against. You're always gonna collaborate. Okay, like example, my wife, she helps me with bookkeeping. Like when I'm swamped and we're like really really busy, like doing bookkeeping and stuff in tax season. So look, but now I have a lot of W-2s. I need you to handle X, Y, and Z, and then I train her. She's focused on it, and it's done. And we make money together. Like our next thing is we're gonna be doing real estate. Starting January 2020 together. And we're gonna start off small. We're probably gonna start off with a group of investors. Keep it low risk. $5,000, $10,000 each. We're gonna go into the deal. It's about 4 of us, so $40,000. Going into the deal. Like I said, I like to start off low risk. Why? Because when you keep it low risk, say I go out and I lose 10 grand. Okay, I just lost 10 grand. I learned what not to do if I lost 10 grand. Okay, that's not that much of a hit. Again, it all depends on what your income is. Because 10 grand for me is not that much of a hit. Thank God. But if I go into a deal by myself, being greedy, 40 grand of it would be a big hit. So we're gonna do it together. So forth. We work with each other, man. And that's one thing I can say. Find your woman that's serious. and build with her. Don't dog her out. Work. And this is, again, even for ladies. Ladies, don't dog a man out. If he has a dream, help him. Okay? Help him. That's what I'm going to say. I saw that recently, but I saw it a while back, and I feel the need to really iterate that in our community.
Hey.
Some powerful words, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
If your partner got a dream, y'all help each other build that shit, and y'all do it beautifully.
That's right. Do it together, man. Like I said, other people are always gonna try to have the best interest for them. Okay.
Well, you gonna have the best interest for your house.
Exactly. Each other.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Man, so we gonna close out the episode on those words.
Yeah. Got me thinking over here, man. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna keep that to myself today.
Get your wife, man.
Okay, let's get into this.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the last little things. So yeah, want to just thank everybody for checking out the podcast. As always, y'all make sure to follow us on Instagram, Black Wolf Renaissance. I'm rude as hell, bro. Joseph, where can the people find out more about you?
All right. So I had actually 2 Instagram accounts. One strictly for the business profile, which is Tax Emperor, and then I had that one got hacked. So now I'm operating off my personal. I have about 23,000 followers right now. So that one is Joseph2261, JOSEPH 2261, and my email is. If you have any questions at all, any tax questions, you gotta DM me on Instagram. And if you want my email, it is Joseph, like my first name, JOSEPH @taxemperor.com.
Yeah. So y'all definitely get at my boy Joseph, especially if y'all want to get into the tax game. Or like he said, even if y'all just got some questions for him, y'all hit my dude up. We hope we can send you some business your way, and we can help you make some money, my brother.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. So I appreciate, being able to opportunity to actually speak up and help educate. And hopefully we can reach millions of people with this. I can help, help.
That's the message. Like we always say, our goal is to try to spread knowledge and tips and useful tools and resources that we believe will be useful for attaining and maintaining generational wealth.
Yeah, of course.
Taxes, need-based business.
Exactly, man.
It's gonna come up every year, so.
But they say only 2 death and taxes.
Yep, that's it.
Exactly, man. Every year, it's coming up, man. 4 months.
So. We're gonna get into wrapping up the episode. We thank y'all again for tuning into our podcast. Y'all go to the website, check out the website, check out the merch we got. Yeah. David got the cash flow shirt on right now. It's been a very hot shirt. We got a lot of people that's loving it. So if y'all want y'all Renaissance shirt, a cash flow shirt, y'all go get that.
And we got new heat dropping.
Yeah, we got courses on the site for you to learn, to educate yourself, to help liberate yourself from financial troubles and financial woes. So go on the website and look at that if you want to try to help elevate yourself. And we just gonna keep on grinding, keep on trying to provide the best service for you guys. David, Kelly, y'all got anything y'all want to add?
I got one thing. I want all of the listeners to understand the way to help BWR and for you to get involved with the community and help out the community is rate the podcast. Because the way that's a way for other people that don't know us, don't know about the Instagram, don't know about our social media or the podcast, that's a way for them to see us on different platforms. So please go rate the podcast, go share us on your social medias so we can get more into the community and further out and help people help maintain and build wealth, basically.
Yeah.
I got one last thing too, just to piggyback off of Kelly. Another way you can get involved in helping Black Wealth Renaissance continue to spread the messages through our Patreon.
Yeah.
We got the Patreon is live. What it really is like our way to provide you with extra content in exchange to help us get out there amongst the people. We really want to try to get in more cities, go out here and do these networking events. We went to Dallas. Dallas was lit. We actually going back to Dallas because of that that podcast and all that stuff, man. So,
yeah, y'all just help keep on changing the community. We're doing this together. This is a group effort, and we're going to keep on continuing to elevate and just help our people reach the next height. I don't have anything else to say. Y'all got anything else to say?
Good.
I guess it's that time of day. It's Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.
Peace.
92% of households that start the year with Peloton are still active a year later.
92% because of a bike?
Not just bikes. We also make treadmills and rowers.
Oh, let me guess, for elite athletes only, right?
Nope. It doesn't matter if you're an avid exerciser or new to working out. Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try Peloton bikes, tread or row risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
With every monthly bill, like rent and car payments, you know exactly what you're getting when you pay for it. But health insurance plans feel like the total opposite. They're confusing and expensive. Then when you actually have to use your benefits, there are deductibles, claims, processes, and other red tape to deal with. But Crowd Health puts you back in control of your health care. Crowd Health is simple, transparent, and affordable. As a member, you'll get a personal care advocate who is with you every step of the way to help navigate the complexities of health events. They'll even negotiate bills on your behalf and could save you thousands of dollars in the process. Plus, you'll get access to thousands of other members who are ready to help pay for large health expenses. Experience healthcare freedom with Crowd Health. Visit joincrowdhealth.com and use code HEALTH to get your first 3 months for just $99 per month. That's joincrowdhealth.com, code HEALTH. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a totally different way of paying for healthcare. Terms and conditions may apply.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece Chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce.
Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.